Thank you very much. Thank you very much.ค่ะ. A very good afternoon to all distinguished guests and executives. Welcome to our UNESCO seminar, Sustainable Gastronomical Experience in UNESCO Locales. My name is Nim Gorakot Palop Raksa. I'm the host for food documentary called Roots of Thai Food.
And I am Linina Putitan or Nina, and I've been working with UNESCO on intangible cultural heritage projects. And we are your MCs for this afternoon. This seminar is one of the activities under a UNESCO project, Achieving Sustainable Tourism in ASEAN with Intangible Cultural Heritage and Creative Cities. It is generously supported by the Designated Areas for Sustainable Tourism Administration or DASTA, ASEAN Turkey Corporation, K11 Department Store, Asia Pacific Training Center for Intangible Cultural Heritage or CREHAB, Onyx Hospitality Group, and in cooperation with City Connects and B Consulting Cambodia.
Well, before we start into our journey, I would like us to give another round of applause to our fantastic show from Siam Niramit. This show that we have seen is created for today's occasion. The first show called The Golden Land, which is about rice and farmers' life traditional way. And also they display the second show is called Siam Identity, which takes us through into the Thai menu of food like Tom Yam Goong and Som Tam, as you recognize from the props and all the dance.
Yes, so very mouth-watering indeed. And I'm sure everybody is now hungry for what we have to offer in this UNESCO seminar.
But before anything, I would like to invite our fantastic guests to give a welcome remarks and mark the start of the event. Distinguished audience, please give a round of applause to Mr. Yuttachai Charanajit, the Group CEO of Ital Thai and CEO of Onyx Hospitality Group.
Turn on. Okay. I'm very Flintstone this morning, this afternoon already. So very much warm welcome everyone to our landmark of Amari Bangkok, in which I think today we celebrate collaboration between hospitality and UNESCO, in which I think we are one of the first regional hotel management company that will embark on this journey to really pursue UNESCO framework on sustainability. Sustainability is a big word for everyone to actually embrace, but I would say that is a journey that we to adapt and accept that we need to conduct our life in a more sustainable way, with or without the framework. But right now, luckily, UNESCO has given us a framework to make sure that we can operate our hotel and service apartment across Asia Pacific region in a sustainable way. And I also have a mandate from HR as well today that we also have a new framework under Onyx, in which is the name of our company, in which it's an abbreviation for opportunity, nature, youth, and collaboration, in which we need to grow the sense of awareness in terms of how to be sustainable to our youngster and talent as we grow our portfolio of hospitality across the region. We also reinforce that as Onyx Hospitality, we are different than many other hotel management company because we really believe in the tailored approach in everything. Tailored approach can be in such a way that you can be very adaptable. You can fall and get up very quickly, but at the end you have to make sure you have to learn from as you progress in as a company. So for me, I think this framework is going to be something that we try to adapt and learn and live as we are moving forward as a company. Lastly, I'm glad to announce that we are still aiming to be carbon neutral as a company and to emit the net zero. 11 of our property in the portfolio right now have been certified and receive in terms of carbon footprint certified, in which right now the goal is to pretty much more than 50% of our portfolio going to be moving toward carbon footprint kind of framework and we will be certified by the Thailand Greenhouse Gas Management Organization. So there's a lot happening to be sustainable. There's a lot of cost as well that incurring for us to be adaptable, in which I think there will be a pressure from both commercial side, procurement side, and operation side to ensure that we can actually generate enough revenue to support our journey to be sustainable. So I hope that everyone, I think today we have many of our colleagues from Onyx Hospitality joining, and they are very much well aware that 2024 will be the year that we need to push and stretch ourselves in terms of revenue to ensure that we can be competitive in the market. So today I'm very much look forward to celebrate this collaboration with UNESCO and the rest of our team member and audience, and I'm sure I think Sukamal and the team will try to impress us with not only the wonderful show from Siam Pyramid, but also the coffee break that I think you will see that we try to showcase the sustainable way and the menu that we have created to make sure that we're gonna be a very unique hotel operator that offer a very one-of-a-kind sustainable a sense of sustainability in terms of banquet and catering as we grow the business in this region. So thank you very much today for your time, and very much I look forward to listen to so many great presentation this afternoon to learn more about being sustainability under UNESCO framework. So thank you again นะครับขอบคุณครับ
Thank you very much, Mr. Yuthachai. And now representing UNESCO in giving a thank you remarks and acknowledgement of the Onyx UNESCO partnership, we would like to invite Dr. Montira Horayangun Unagun, World Heritage Specialist from UNESCO Regional Office in Bangkok, to the stage, please.
So good afternoon to all of our distinguished guests who are gathered here today with us. It's really a delight to be here, and I was able to arrive a little bit early, so I had a chance to walk around outside in the very interesting and lively exhibitions that we had from all the partners who are gathered here today in the name of sustainability and to celebrate UNESCO's upcoming partnership with the Onyx Group. And so let me start by first thanking very much Kun Yuthachai Jaranachit, CEO of Onyx Hospitality Group and Group CEO of Italthai Group. We're also expecting to be joined by the Deputy Governor of Bangkok, Kun Sanon Wang Sangbun as well. Thank you very much to Dr. Chuwit Mitchop, our longtime collaborator, Deputy Director General of DASTA, as well as all of our renowned panelists, executives of the various hotels in the Onyx Hospitality Group, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. We would like to first start by thanking, on behalf of the Director of UNESCO Regional Office here in Bangkok, the Onyx Hospitality Group for your very kind welcome for us here today. The first step really, hopefully in many years of collaboration to come. As you know, this project is part of a larger effort termed Achieving Sustainable Tourism with Intangible Cultural Heritage and Creative City Networks in Waterway Cities of ASEAN. This is a collaboration between DASTA and funded by the ASEAN Turkey Cooperation, the K11 Department Store, and CREHAP, which is a UNESCO Category 2 center focusing on intangible cultural heritage based in China. We are also collaborating with a host of other partners as well, City Connects, the Thailand Community-Based Tourism Institute, B Consulting out of Cambodia, as well as the Ministry of Information, Culture, and Tourism of Laos, PDR. And so our project aims to build an ASEAN-level network of community-based tourism professionals. In this year, we're kicking off the pilot phase by trying to involve colleagues coming from Cambodia, Laos PDR, as well as Thailand in a number of on-site project activities in order to show the essence of what is actually sustainable tourism within the context of the UNESCO Sustainable Tourism Pledge that many of our partners have already signed up for. And so I think we have a lot of examples already from the exhibitions outside, exactly what sustainability means, whether it's in terms of waste, whether it's in terms of water or in terms of food and agriculture. I think these are all going to become the signature hallmarks of our upcoming project together. As you know, the 17 Sustainable Development Goals are part of the 2030 agenda, and we're already in year 2024. So you can imagine that the clock is really ticking on being able to tick off some of the achievements under the 2030 agenda. Within the United Nations system, we're already beginning to talk about post-2030. So we're already beginning to plan what's going to happen after the 2030 agenda comes to a close. And it's an opportunity both to fill in some gaps that perhaps we were not able to fully achieve within these last 15 years, but also an opportunity to think towards the future in terms of what is the transformative change that is facing us and what are the challenges that are coming up ahead in terms of sustainability. And so we are very pleased to be on this journey with the Onyx Hospitality Group, with which we plan to embark on a grand plan of collaboration in order to empower both hotel professionals as well as local stakeholders in cooperating to protect the surrounding biodiversity of various hotels and properties in the Onyx Group, using traditional knowledge as well as living heritage in order to be able to preserve the assets that we have that are the very bedrock of why visitors and tourists come to our properties in the first place. And so with this, we'd like to thank once again Kun Yutana for your personal presence and your strong intention in order to lead this effort forward. And we are committed to continue with our collaboration together. I would also like to thank very much our keynote speakers as well as our panelists who are joining us here today, starting with the Deputy Governor, Kun Sanon, who will introduce to us the Bangkok Design Week as well as the Bangkok Food Bank new initiative. We'd like to thank from DASTA our old friends, Dr. Chuwit, as well as Kun Wachari Churaksa, who will tell us about success stories coming out of the UNESCO Creative Cities and Gastronomy, many of which are being looked after by DASTA, as well as DASTA's very own creative tourism program. I'd also like to point out the most interesting lineup that we have coming from practitioners, actual people working in the hospitality field, starting with Kun Parina, of the Bangkok Rooftop Farm, as well as Mr. Vishwas from the Michelin Green Halma restaurant, which, as many of you know, is one of the leaders in terms of green hospitality acknowledged worldwide, as well as Chef Kim Sanpon of the award-winning Embassy Restaurant, and Mr. Sean Tu from Sentinel Solutions, who is here to introduce to us about some waste solutions. So with this, I'd like to hand back the floor to our very talented MCs, and thank you very much once again for this opportunity for UNESCO to be here with you today and for your presence. Thank you.
Thank you, Ka. Thank you, Ka. May I invite Kun Yuttachai to take the picture with Dr. Montira on the stage to remarks our beginning of the work together between Onyx and UNESCO. Thank you very much.
Dear distinguished guests, so we have heard a word about sustainability. We heard about food, gastronomy. So today we're going to enjoy today to talk about sustainable gastronomical practices. We have 2 keynote speakers and 5 panelists to kick off our discussion today. The first keynote is titled UNESCO Creative Cities and Gastronomy. Please welcome Dr. Chuwit Mitchell, Deputy Director General of Designated Areas for Sustainable Tourism Administration, or DASTA. Dr. Chuwit, please take the floor. Thank you.
Very good morning, good afternoon to you all. A special thanks to Dr. Montira, representative from UNESCO, speakers, colleagues from Laos, PDR, Cambodia, Thailand, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to thank UNESCO to have invited me to be here at the beautiful and environmentally friendly of Amari Bangkok Hotel, professionally managed by Onyx. I have been given only 20 minutes, so I will jump my slide presentation. To give you a short introduction of DASTA, where I'm from. In a nutshell, we are a government agency purely 100%, directly reporting to the Ministry of Tourism and Sports. Previously, we belonged to the Office of the Prime Minister, but due to the change of the bureaucratic system, so we have moved 4 years ago to belong to the Ministry of Tourism and Sports. Of course, we are responsible for sustainable tourism development in only the designated areas approved by the cabinet, the ministerial cabinet, and some designated areas that in the preparation stage, which we call pre-designated areas. So we have more or less 4 missions. We have adopted the GATC, Global Sustainable Tourism Council criteria to use in our designated areas to ensure that this sustainability can be explained in a systematic way and internationally accepted ways as well. Because, as you know well, that the tourism industry of Thailand relies heavily on, 2/3 of the income from the tourism industry from international tourist arrival. So we have to ensure that our tourist attractions would meet the expectation and standards internationally accepted. We also observe the UCCN criteria by the UNESCO. We promote and encourage our designated areas who have appropriate potential, jump from being certified by the certification body accredited by the GATC to become the member of the UCCN. Also, we promote the role of the local government agencies, for example, the municipality or local, sub-district district organization to get used to, the term sustainability, again, in this systematic way by promoting the so-called STMS, standing for Sustainable Tourism Management Standard. And also at the community level, we promote and encourage the role of the communities to get involved with the benefit in the value chain of the tourism industry by observing the so-called CBT, standing for Community-Based Tourism Thailand. Both STMS and CBT Thailand have been recognized officially by the GATC, the Global Sustainable Tourism Council. So for short, we work in the supply side, in the midstream, and handing over to, we are the upstream. So we handed over our result to the Department of Tourism, which is the midstream, to certify, the standard, and then to the downstream, which is the TAT, Tourism Authority of Thailand, who is the marketer of our products. It is a vision, but I would like to highlight the term excellence in integrating. We are not excellent in developing the tourism activities in the attractions, but we are excellent in, we shall be excellent in integrating all partners, all stakeholders in the designated areas. We are just like a music conductor. We cannot play any instrument, music instrument, but we encourage, all musicians to play in the same song, and the name of the song is Sustainable Tourism. Up to now, we have 9 designated areas, starting from Koh Chang in Trat province, Pattaya, Loi, Nan, Old Town, not the whole province of Nan, just only the 5 districts in the heart of Nan province, Chiang Rai, Songkhla Lagoon, Bang Krachao, which is close to Bangkok, U Thong in Suphanburi province, Sukhothai, Sri Sachalalai, and Kamphaeng Phet World Heritage Sites. We have 3 key tools, GATC criteria For the destination level, at the local authority level, we use the STMS, as I have mentioned, and community level, we use the CBT with the creative tourism as well. But if we consider some designated areas have the potential, to become the member of the UCCN, UNESCO Creative City Network, we would push, forward to the mechanism at the provincial level to be shared by the governor. You need, the power, official power from the provincial chief, which is the governor, to push all mechanism to work in a systematic way and bureaucratic way as well. These are, more or less our significant outcomes in the past few years. We have, our designated areas have been listed Global Sustainable Destinations Top 100, starting from 2020, like Chiang Khanh and Nai Vieng in Nan. Also, Mueang Khao Sukho Thai, Got Mak in Trat province. You can see Nai Vieng and Mueang Khao have been listed, twice or three times in a row, and Klong Tom Krabi recently. Of course, we have Sukho Thai, Phetchaburi, Chiang Rai, and Supanburi, our designated area to have been declared as a UNESCO Creative City Network. We have a lot of communities to have won the internationally recognized awards, like a Pata Gold Awards and UNWTO, United Nations World Tourism Organization, and SKOL from Sweden. As you have know well that there have been up to 350 cities at the moment to be declared as the UNESCO Creative Cities Network members from over 100 countries, divided into 7 categories of fields. Crafts and folk arts, design, film, gastronomy, literature, media arts, and music. For Thailand, we have 7 creative cities at the moment, starting from Phuket in 2015 in the field of gastronomy, crafts and folk art in Chiang Mai 2 years later, every 2 years. Bangkok and Sukho Thai in 2019, City of Design and Crafts and Folk Arts, respectively. Phetchaburi, City of Gastronomy. Supanburi and Chiang Rai recently become the member of the UCCN. Supanburi in the field of music, and Chiang Rai for the design city. These are example of our designated area in the UCCN system. So I would like to raise up the example of the Phetchaburi Creative City of Gastronomy. Actually, Phetchaburi has not been yet a fully designated area of DASTA, but it is in the preparation stage. But legally, we can promote that the province to work in our context. So before becoming to be the member of the UCCN in the field of City of Gastronomy, we work hard for sure. At the end of the year 2019, we went to Phetchaburi province to talk to the private sectors. The main mechanism in the province, young generations very active at the province, and we gave them, the guideline to the roadmap, to become the member of the UCCN. And starting from the beginning of the year 2020, you can see that I highlight the yellow background in June 2020 that we push the province to establish the provincial committee to be chaired by the governor. And then we work shoulder by shoulder with the stakeholders at the locality. It took 2 years, and in April 2021, the governor of Phetchaburi at that time, thanks to Governor Phakapong Thienchai, ท่าน Governor พระคพงษ์เทียนชัย Governor พระคพงษ์เทียนชัย ได้ Declare เป็น UNESCO Creative City นะครับ 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 Declare เป็น UNESCO Creative C who was very decisive to sign by himself in the application form. And then the Ministry of Education announced that the Phetchaburi could be the national representative to Paris. And then in the last quarter of 2021, Phetchaburi was declared the UCCN member in the field of City of Gastronomy. These are some photos that we have. We work hard with the governor, closely with the stakeholder. You have to, work on a regular basis, in terms of establishing the, events, food-related events. You can mix, music and design, which are the different category from food, into the gastronomy event like this. After becoming the member of the UCCN, we still, work on a regular basis, organizing the knowledge exchange with stakeholders and gurus, experts from international and domestic context as well. And the local business owners of Phetchaburi are very active, and they represent their province in the international arena on a regular basis as well. Lots of photos to be presented here. We also in the pipeline to push forward Songkhla to become a UCCN member in the field of city gastronomy in the future. Hopefully, very soon, probably next year. Songkhla people have a strong passion to push their province to become the city of gastronomy. At the moment, my organization, DASTA, came to the area and asking for the support from 5 universities in the province to support the roles of the provincial committee. Again, we encourage the governor to establish the provincial mechanism to push forward, all elements to be streamlined in the united ways of the stakeholders in the locality. Activities and the events shall be conducted on a regular basis. We join hands with the CA, standing for Creative Economy Agency, in the Pak Tai Design Week. Pak Tai means southern part of Thailand, August last year. So these are some components, but not limited to, let's say, examples that if you would like to become, city of gastronomy, you might highly consider these factors, to be pushed forward. Local cuisine database shall be available. Restaurants, food business, both local and fusion cuisine, food-related events, culinary institute, cooking schools, research institute, organizations and stakeholders. Organization means committee mechanism where all stakeholders, shall be mingled together and have the same direction to push their province to the target. Museum and gallery, and last but not least, you have to ensure the environment, in the province that it is, being creative enough. So sometimes physically you might have to contribute the creative space for the creative people, especially the young generation. Gastronomy shall not stand alone. You must not think that you cook only. You have to think that how to decorate the food, design the food, put the music in the food, using the crafts and folk arts for the food, I'm talking about, mixing the different 7 fields of the city of, creative cities, to be in the one plate. As you can see that on the UCCN application form, item 10.18 stating that the applicant, province applicant shall ensure that main international cooperation initiatives and or partnerships developed in the past 3 years. So you have to be good in the archival records as well, involving at least 2 of the 7 creative fields covered by the network. So cross-cutting cooperation shall be encouraged. So I would like to end my speech with the quotation for today. I think the heart of being a creative city is empowering people to be more openly creative by both thinking and contributing to the societies. Ladies and gentlemen, I have a short clip. It takes about more or less 2 minutes to finish my presentation. It was made 5 years ago when we organized the GSTC regional conference for Asia Pacific in 2019 in Chiang Mai. And there are 4 speakers in the clip, including myself. But I'm sorry that some titles of the speakers might not be updated, especially the former director of UNESCO Bangkok in 2019. So can I have a clip?
Well, the creativity is very, very important in many senses. Number one, it is the kind of the creation of human being. And many people, in many forms, people can be attracted through the creativity of human being. And then as a matter of fact, we've seen a lot of films and foods, and also the literature, arts, music, many products through the creativity is very, very attracted, and also they recognize a very important part of human life.
And over tourism, you could relate that to a sort of laziness in the tourism industry, to just stick what we all know, stick with the highlights, stick with what is already famous, and just put more travelers in those destinations. Creativity comes into play to put new destinations on the market.
Sometimes we create the program with the villagers to have something that is very unique from the raw materials that they have in the village. Those activities that we create with the villagers, we cannot just think of anything, but normally we think of what the villagers have in their hands. And then we create on top of that. And we are working together with the villagers.
When discussing about the term creativity in the sense of sustainable tourism development, you have to think about the things beyond developing new products or services to be delivered to the tourists. You have to think about the new ways of strengthening them, empowering them to give them sufficient immunity to cope with the demand side of mass tourism. Ladies and gentlemen, that brings to the complete end of my speech. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Dr. Shuwit. Wow. Thank you for your insightful keynote that put vast possibilities of the UNESCO Creative City Program. And our next keynote speaker, I would like, ladies and gentlemen, to welcome our second keynote today. is by a young and passionate executive of our Bangkok metropolis, Mr. Sanon Wang Sangbun, Deputy Governor of Bangkok, will be our speaker about when policy meets design and creativity, the case studies of Bangkok Design Week and Bangkok Food Bank. Please take the stage.
Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, it's my honor to be on the stage, and I would like to share a few couple of a note about the design. I saw the topic is related to the policy and the creativity, and the team suggests to talk about Bangkok Design Week and the food bank, but let me tell another things before I jump to the two topics that suggested. So I think before we join in the government side, I personally have experience in sustainable like community development, and we found that there's a lot of challenge that facing not only in terms of the tourism side that the previous guest speaker that talking about, but it related to a lot of things related to the city development. We are in Bangkok, which is like well known on the tourism part, but it's also in the inequality, living, and the quality of life is very challenging. So it's very hard to talk about only one side about the economic in tourism, but not talking about how we develop household, the quality of life. So when jumping to the government side, we see how we can like go along these two things in between. And we found that one of the challenge of Bangkok is the authority of Bangkok is not absolute. If you talk about transportation, you will see that Bangkok is not like other mega city, like for example London or other mega city. We have pure transport department that take care every single part of transportation. But in Bangkok itself is comprised of at least 36 department, including in one transportation topics. So as administration, Bangkok administration, we need to collaborate. So before jumping into other topic, I think one of the big thing is to how can we collaborate well. So first thing first, the governor come and use the technology. And I think the technology is easy now because I believe everyone have a mobile phone on your hand, right? And the biggest challenge is we don't know who responsible for one single thing. If we talk about sidewalk, footpath, there are a lot of party involved. Some footpath belong to BMA, some belong to the transportation ministry. So it's very hard for that. So we bring the creativity, easy one. It's an application on the phone and no need to download because it's in the line. Application is called Traffic Fongdu. The government developed like 5 years ago, but no one used it. So the governor Chachat come and promote this the existing application and let everyone use this application to tell us where is the problem. Very easy, and I think every city use it. And the first day we promote, there are 20,000 problem only in 1 hour. 20,000 problem report by the citizen, yeah, and the server is down. So after that, we need to talk with the owner of the which is the government, the research team, to expand the server and then create more. And after that, we very strict. Only technology cannot get trust from the citizen, but only if we use it, and we regulate it, we follow up, and we need to respond to the citizen. There's only one way to make the citizen trust in the in your initiative. So yesterday we just passed a big milestone that we got 500,000 report from the citizen recently, and the governor said it's not mean we're doing bad, but it's mean that actually we get trust from the people. So I think that is very good thing, and I think it helped a lot in terms of who is responsible for, and we are like administration need to responsible to collaborate to the one that responsible that topics. First thing that I want to talk about that Bangkok Design Week itself. I think we use creativity not from the government side, but we know our position. Creativity is not in government; it's outside government. It's in the university. It's in the community. It's in the designer. It's in elsewhere, not government. So Bangkok Design Week trying to engage people from expert or who want to design your city, who want to design your home, your community, and you can apply. We partnership with the CEA, which is the Creative Economy Agency, who is a owner of the Design Week, and we asked for the proposal, and we got 1,000 proposal from designer. But by the way, we have very limited budget to do in Design Week. We select around 100 designer, and we got 500 program in 9 days, and also get funding from the corporate, the company, to participate in their area. So in 9 days here, it's not only the designer come to expose their potential, but this is the first time that we use the problem in the city. So we use the problem that we got from the 500,000 problem that people responsible. So we use that problem and we share it to the designer to help how you can help to solve and use the design. There are many initiative and many solutions that I think very interesting. I can show you something, but I don't have slide today. So first thing, motorbike taxi, right? Wind motorcycle, which is like we have. Can you imagine how many wind motorcycle, the motorbike taxi we have right now in Bangkok? 1,000? More than that, it's 90,000 motorbike taxi in Bangkok. And if you see they are in the BTS, MRT, but we don't have a well organized on how they live. Sometimes they live in footpath, sometimes they live on street, sometimes they they use the private space to live. So in the Bangkok Design Week, we do one initiative, and the designer come to like design the kind of station that the motorbike taxi can live. And also one pain point that they found is when we are the people, we don't know that how many motorbike left. Sometimes it's like, there's no motorbike left because they go to travel. So they do the kind of signage to count and just use easy technology that if the motorbike is still alive, they just put on. But if you go back home, you put off, and then the station will have like a number, so how many motorbike still have in there. That kind of thing we test in about motorbike taxi. We also have one initiative about utilization of the abandoned space or abandoned building. Designers use the same eye, but different vision. So they see the opportunity. As a government, sometimes we see like a threat, sometimes we see abandoned building like we need to demolish. But the designers see as an opportunity. So there are more than 10 buildings that have exposed during Design Week. So last year we got the post office building in Pak Khong Talat, the flower market that already abandoned more than 10 years. And last year they do some projection mapping and lighting design on the post office building. And this year we go to the landlord, the landowner, which is the I think highway authority. And right now we got the rental. We got rental from them already. So BMA used the design week to see the opportunity, and then we got the to develop some land. So right now I think we have around 10 potential building to see the opportunity and use the design week as a tool to see new opportunity. Last year we have 9 districts. It's already big, but this year we expand to 15 districts. So it's very big. I talked with the CEA, the co-host of the event, that maybe next year we need to expand it into like not a week, or maybe week and put S, weeks. So many weeks, maybe a month in design week, so we can enjoy more and to see more opportunity in the city. And this is kind of the map that we do the map online, because right now everyone have a phone and we can see where it is in the city. Yeah. So that is about design week and a lot of things to explore. The governor said that not only in this 9 days, but you need to see and scale it. Like which one is like, we can scale it into the city level. So we need to use these design weeks and scale the solution into the city scale. The last one is about the food bank. And I think food bank, we use it maybe a different context of the food bank that some city do. So right now you can see there are many food surplus, and you can see in the market, in the restaurant, in the street food, and there's a lot of opportunity that surplus within a day can share to those in need in the community itself. We work with 2 NGOs, which is work beyond us. They work like more than 5 years. And they told us that you don't need to do everything. You just help on something. And they ask for what the thing you need. So they told us that what they need is the logistic. Because the partnership in between private sector and community is easy. So the NGO can do, they know where the community is, they know where the food, left. But the logistic took a lot of costs, and it's a lot of things that they cannot do. So what we are helping them now is to use our city police car. That's along the day we don't use it. We use only busy hours, and along the day is like is a vacancy of the cars, and then we use that cars to help the logistic of the food surplus and send it to the committee who are in need. Right now we expand from 1 community into 10, and this year the governor said that we need to expand to 50 districts across Bangkok, and it's more than 100,000 food that's served in the community. and need to ensure that it's not go to the same community. We need to ensure that it's expand to the all the doors in need, which is we have around 2,000 community in Bangkok. So that is the thing that need to ensure. Another model that we are exploring is we want to have a food bank center, because sometimes the one who want to donate, maybe it's your birthday, maybe it's your good day, you want to do something good, and we don't have like the place to do it. But what we do right now is we go to the temples, right? Most of us, we go to the temple. So right now we talk with the 400 temples in the city to like do it together. No need to have a center in our district office, but we can utilize temples to be the food bank center of district. And actually, the temple already have done it long times ago, but we systematically talk and trying to engage holistically for the food bank project. So that is the thing that I share today. Happy to talk more, and would love if we can do more anything else in Bangkok. Yeah, thank you very much. Thank you,ครับ.
Thank you very much, Kun Sainon. And now we will proceed on to the first photo round session. So Kun Sainon ka, so please remain on the stage. And then I would like to invite Mr. Yuttachai Jaranajit of Onyx Hospitality Group onto the stage. Dr. Montira Horayangun Unagun of UNESCO. And Dr. Chuwit Mittop of DASTA. Thank you. We're not done yet, so can you please still stay on the stage as I invite more people? Miss Wachari Churaksa of Justa, please go on the stage for group photo. Dr. Wasana Pongsapan from
อันนี้ได้ค่ะ
Justa. Senior VP of Italthai and Onyx Hospitality Group, Kun Saranya, Kun Harold, Kun Wutiwet, Kun Walai Tip. Ms. Parina Prayuk Wong of Bangkok Rooftop Farming Social Enterprise. Mr. Chon Tu of Sentinel Solutions. Chef Kim San Pon of Embassy Khmer Gastronomy. Mr. Wichawat Sidana, sommelier of Michelin Green Star Halma Restaurant. Mr. Sukamal Mondal of Onyx Hospitality Group. Chef Praveen Dili of Chef de Cuisine Chomsin. And Hai Tiet UNESCO Partnership Officer. Wow, a very large group of stars today.
Photographer, if you wish our guests to form the pattern on being on the stage for photography, I would love to help to arrange too.
And we're all holding the SDG bear.ตุ๊กตาหมีความยั่งยืนนะคะอิมพอร์ตจากปารีสได้เสร็จถ่ายรูปเสร็จก็พี่ก็ค่อยพูดตอนนี้ถ่ายรูปก็ค่อยคุย
มีของให้อีกใช่ไหม
Now, please, may I invite Honest Hospitality with the UNESCO to present.
to present ใช่ไหมนะคะ to present มันคืออะไรอ่ะ
นี่เป็นตัวแป้งหนึ่งที่เราใส่เสื้อ
ไม่ก็อันนี้ให้ไปแล้วแล้วอันนี้เราจะ present อะไรวะ
อ๋อนี่คือนี้สินะ
คืออันนี้ใช่ไหมเราไม่ต้องพูดแล้วถูกไหม Thank you very much ค่ะ Thank you all executives and speakers for today. And now we would like to take a few minutes to the stage set up for the panel discussion.
In the meanwhile, so while the
We are
team is-
rearranged.
Yeah, distinguished audience at Amari Bangkok Hotel, also on Zoom and on UNESCO Bangkok Facebook live stream. We are very excited to introduce you to our very extraordinary panelists. So let's please give us a few minutes for the stage to be ready.
Thank you for being patient and waiting for us to arrange everything. While we are real, I would like to introduce and let us get to know our panelists a little bit more. First, I would like to introduce Ms. Wachari Shuraksa, Assistant to Director General of Designated Areas for Sustainable Tourism Administration, or for short, DASTA. With background in tourism management, she worked for Tourism Authority of Thailand before joining DASTA. She is responsible for projects to develop sustainable tourism models and has taken part in the success of several community-based tourism projects that receive recognitions, such as Thailand Tourism Award, ASEAN Award, Parta Gold Award, and UNESCO Creative City Network status.
ค่ะคุณ
เชิญ
พัชรี
ค่ะ
ค่ะ And our second panelist is Ms. Parina Prayukwong, a social activist, facilitator, trainer, consultant, mentor, ACC professional coach, as well as a Secretary General of the Network for Sustainable Development Association. She also co-founded Bangkok Rooftop Farming Social Enterprise to actualize circular designs for food waste material recovery and upcycling. ค่ะคุณปรินา please เชิญค่ะ
เชิญค่ะ And our third panelist is a self-made entrepreneur from Malaysia, Mr. Sean Tu, the CEO of Sentinel Solutions. Living in Thailand for the past 20 years, he has helped thousands of hospitality and F&B businesses solve wastewater, water and food waste problems using non-chemical solutions like proprietary microbes technology. Sentinel Solutions also partner with other ESG providers to help businesses capture, calculate, and manage their greenhouse gas emissions. Please welcome on the stage.
Then our fourth panelist is a chef. We're talking about food and gastronomy. So might as well look and hear what our chefs has to say. Chef Kim San-pon is a talented executive chef from Siem Reap, Cambodia. She currently oversees 5 restaurants, one of which is called The Embassy, and it has won the TripAdvisor Awards in year 2023. Inspired by her mother's recipes, Kim San has been recognized for her cooking for international leaders at events like the 2022 World Economic Forum in Davos. So please welcome Chef Kim San-pon on stage.
Then our last but not least, we are delighted to welcome Mr. Vishwas Sidana, sommelier of Michelin Green Star Halma Restaurant. Born in Rajasthan, Vishwas' hospitality career began and grew at several Oberoi hotels and resorts. He then moved to work in fine dining businesses, from working up Italian restaurants to actually running his own Michelin star-worthy Indian restaurant in Thailand. Please welcome on the stage.
Okay, ค่ะพี่นิ่ม since we're going to be the moderators, we have to go and sit there as
It's
well.
our turn
Yeah,
now.
it's our turn.
I can't believe it. I announced all names already. I thought that we have more. It seems like our topic today is cover all range of people in so many areas. Thank you very much, everyone, to join us today.
Okay, since now we're all seated and ready, let's start. So we will go through rounds of thematic questions that will discuss about how food culture can become important and valuable assets and capital for tourism development, for the livelihoods of the communities, and how can we, take care of whole like value chain and also the whole cycle of food production to waste management, to serving food under the table, and in order for us to enjoy our ways of life and also the creativity and the of the communities and practitioners.
Well, but before we go into all the questions that we would like to discuss today, I would like to start with my partner, Kun Nina, because she's also the UNESCO person, right? Can we start to ask you the question whether food is considered an intangible cultural heritage, and what does that mean?
Yeah. So as a UNESCO person, not sure what that means, but I've been working on projects related to intangible cultural heritage. And we use the term interchangeably with the word living heritage. It's okay if you get confused on what it means. But before I answer your question, whether food is ICH, like intangible or living heritage or not, maybe I can share with you the definition of ICH. So intangible cultural heritage can be a set of belief systems, value systems, practices, traditions, festivals, knowledge about agriculture, about craftsmanship. It's a lot about a thing, but it has to be something that the community recognizes as part of their identity and way of life. And also, when we talk about living heritage, we don't just look at the materials or objects or utensils. We also look at the processes, about the values and meanings that the practices or belief deliver to the people who associate themselves with that tradition. And also living heritage is related to sustainability in the sense that it can be linked to so many kinds of sustainable development. So today we would be talking and going through so many of the SDGs that are related to the culinary practices and gastronomy. And most of all, intangible cultural heritage or these practices cannot happen without the people or the community. That's why the 2003 Convention for the Safeguarding of the Intangible Cultural Heritage really recognizes and focuses on empowering the communities, as we have heard today from our keynote speakers about empowerment. And also another word that we heard from our keynote speaker is about creativity. And I want to emphasize this because our ways of life is not fossilized, right? It's not fixed, it's not frozen, it's dynamic just like us. So it's up to the communities, to the practitioners on how they want to infuse in their creativity so that their living heritage gives more and sustainable meaning to them. And in terms of living heritage, we also recognizes different roles of people. And Kun Nim, I have to ask you, how many hours do I have to answer this question?
Until tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay.
Sorry.
Everybody will leave us. So I think I will just stop it here. But so probably now, after the definition, you might start to think, is food ICH? Do you think food is ICH? Otherwise, we leave home, right? So yeah, food is ICH, but not the food itself, but about why we eat food, how we prepare it. Food is used throughout like our whole life cycle for meanings, to feel love, to nourish ourselves, and for various social activities. So I think that will be my take on, yes, food is ICH, but not just the food itself.
I would say like food is roots, like ROOT or ROUTE, it's kind of like covering that, it's part of our life, no?
Right. So now enough of me. And I want to, hear also, because we talk about different roles. And in gastronomy, in culinary, I want to ask Chef Kim San-po from Embassy Restaurant Siem Reap. Now we want to hear about, can you tell us the important roles of women in cooking within your restaurants.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you so much for today. I'm so happy. I'm very happy to be here, and first time for me to join this event in abroad because I'm coming from Cambodia, and now I would like to share my experience because I'm an executive chef at Embassy Restaurant in Siem Reap. Our restaurant we have only a woman team. Because talking about the food, because in Cambodian, the women, they are cooking the food for family. They are stay at home to take care of the family, to take care of their children. So as you said, the food, to eat the food every day to save your lives. Yes, that's why I take only the woman to work in our restaurant, because in Cambodian we have one word like a woman, they cook the food with their heart. And I want our restaurant to all the tourists, they come to Cambodian to have to visit not only for the culture, for the temple or visit the city. So I would like them to discover our authentic Khmer food as well, our food culture as well. That's why I create this restaurant. Like a woman, they are connected with the food since like from their grandmother, from their mother. So it's like from one generation to generation. It's a woman who cook, let's say, better food than the man in the families. And also I would like to like in Cambodian, because we are, as you know, we are under Khmer rule as long time, and difficult for the woman to go out to challenge with the other people. Then mostly they take care like a housewife. So I want to show like, okay, women, we can do as normal people, like as the men as well. Like not only stay home to take care of the family, they can go out. So to show them, okay, we have the power to do this kind of thing as well. This is my experience and my working with the women people.
That's very empowering. Next, I want to know, because when we're talking about living heritage, and as you say, women, from generation to generation, they learn recipes as you yourself have learned from your mother. Now, but when we recreate in your generation or for the business, how do you balance between the traditionalness of culinary practices or your recipes or cooking with the modern like restaurant trends or needs? Like how do you balance that?
Actually, like I have also my personal. I have my mom. She's as a chef in the village. Like in Cambodian, she prepared the big quantity of food for wedding ceremony, like 1,000 people, 500 people up. So it's like say from one generation to one generation. I follow my mom since I was young. And then I saw is the old recipe from different village as well, different committee that I go through with my mom, and then I think, okay, one day I want the Cambodian food, like to show to in the tourists, or to show the tourists to know our food in fine dining in the Khmer gastronomy, like we did every day in our restaurant. Because in countryside we eat the food like the classic one we cook with for example, like when we eat the food, when we cook the food, we cook like a fish, for example, like we eat with the bone or something like that, and the way how they cut vegetable, they just make all together and simmer in the big pot like this. But for us, like to be a modern way of the cooking, to present the old recipe of Cambodian food, but to present with the new technique, new presentation, like more easy for the client to enjoy in their palates, like and so
So
sorry.
what would be you're saying that you keep something as it is a traditional Cambodian techniques, but you also integrate like some new techniques, right? So I wonder what are the traditional ones that you value and you feel that you want to keep this. What are the details or what are the components of your cooking that you want to keep as it is, and why?
Like for me, I keep authentic flavor of Cambodian food because I want to keep my like Cambodian food is our signature dish. We have our unique dish as well, and then I want to keep the flavor of our original flavor of Khmer food. But I just change the technique of the cooking, and like for example, I have like slow cooking to be more tender, more soft for the tourist, easy to eat, something like that. But I use the local product. I support them like the vegetable or herb or meat or something like that. I use all the local ingredient all. Yes.
Well, that's very challenging to bring up the equality of female into the scene, right? Now we will move from the female chef scene in Cambodia to you, Mr. Wishwas, right? Do you know obtaining Michelin star is already difficult enough? Can you elaborate to us how can you obtain green Michelin star? What's the difference between the two type of the star that you reach out?
First of all, thank you for having me here, and it's a great opportunity to be able to represent Hauma here. So we started 7 years ago with a very simple question as to what do we want to do in terms of the cuisine which we want to represent between me and chef. And the answer was obviously we want to showcase Indian food. And then we look at it, it goes back to only a couple of thousands of years ago. And
Only.
right? And then because we are in a very modern world, which is globalized, and we understand with the kind of exposure both me and DK have in terms of global fine dining. So we wanted to ask ourselves a question where what would India be eating in 2040, or how Indian food would be looked at in 2030. So that is one thing. So one is obviously maintaining the balance between the past, what we have, and where do we want to be. And the other part was obviously if we're cooking Indian food, we have the best vegetarian or vegan options in any cuisine possible. So that we wanted to take a lot of pride in representing. And that what was our main focus, that our vegetarian and vegan offerings and plant-based offerings would be the highlight of our tasting menu. Obviously, meat and seafood is great if you source great ingredients, follow great recipes, include both modern and ancient techniques together. Everything will be nice. But what we wanted to ask ourselves was, Michelin Green Star did not exist when we start. And Michelin came in 1 year later before we started. So we already had this agenda that we wanted to do a restaurant, but how a future of fine dining should be in the year 2040. That is what we are looking at. And on this journey of 6 years, we found ourselves surrounded by a lot of local people who are trying to do the same tasks in different ways. And then we, Chef DK traveled across Thailand, Laos, and Cambodia before opening up Hauma in a food truck. So he met a lot of farmers and a lot of small artisanal farmers. And he wanted to ask a question as to why fine dining restaurants are importing everything from France and from Japan, and why can't we elevate what we have local? And yeah, I mean, 6 years later, it's good to have a confirmation as a Michelin Green Star. as the only one in Bangkok and as well as the only Indian restaurant in the world to have it. But it's not, I would say, the full stop. There's a long way to go because every day we are asking ourselves a lot of questions. The goal we set ourselves was we want to make, we heard the term net zero long time ago. And then over the years, we figured it out that net zero actually would not happen because it would just be offsetting our carbon to something else. So we are asking ourselves into smaller questions every day as to how can, smaller decisions. It's not about taking a big decision and making it right. It's just about small steps. We saw a trend long time ago, like a lot of restaurants were saying we want to use paper straws, and paper straws became viral. And we went ahead and said we have a no straw policy in the beginning itself. Like we don't want to start off with a debate or give a choice for a debate to have a glass straw versus a bamboo straw versus a paper straw versus a plastic straw. We just said no straw policy. And how can we have a beautiful glassware which people enjoy?
That's
right?
creativity that gets into the creation, right? So that's the journey on cultivating your food into the art and also the awareness of living, right? But when you talk about green, people would think about vegetarian and also green as like no waste and also eco-friendly to the nature. What's the challenge in your journey?
Actually, there's no challenge. To be honest, 80 years ago, everything was organic. Or 100 years ago, everything was super organic. And all our forefathers across, I can probably say in this side of the world, which is the eastern part of the world, we've been following ancient techniques since ages. All we had to do was to look back. And I'll give you a very simple example of a zero waste. So my mom cooks me dal or lentils in the night, and she makes me a potato vegetable along with cauliflower. I grew up in a vegetarian household, so that's why that example. And then tomorrow morning, the breakfast is a parantha made out of the same thing, but she just adds a little bit more spices and turns it different. And that was zero waste for me from the time I was growing up. So to see it in a restaurant, it didn't seem challenging, to be honest. It just seemed like, wow, we can really upcycle everything and put it to use in a different way. I liked working with DK a lot because when I met DK and I asked him the same thing, like, why aren't many other people looking at this in the same way as we are? DK said, I'm not lazy. That's it. That was his answer. I just want to do things. I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to contemplate on it. If I know there's a way to create zero waste, if there is we already know what's composting, you can go on YouTube and learn about composting from probably 100,000 hours of videos. So it's just about doing it, having the will to do it, rather than just think and not bringing into action. So,
Wow. I have more questions, but I think we have to move on.
Yes.
Sorry.
But yeah, so
Thank you.
basically what you're doing is not something new, but we're just going back to our roots and to our traditional wisdom and knowledge, right? And bringing it back. And I think that's what our era really needs at this time. So we have, you have shared with us about the production side, right? The production's part of the picture. But when there's food, there's cooking, and there's also eating, and then there will be some food that is not finished or food waste. So, of course, in order for us to look at the whole picture of this, we need to, ask our experts to share their insights and experiences about waste management. So, let's start with our lady here, Kun Parina ka. So you've been working a lot about this on waste management, etc., and achieving a greener, hospitality and food businesses. So what's your inspiration behind your bio circular green solution?
I think so.
I would like to add on with Vishwa has mentioned about what we are doing now. We have to think about our mother, what she did in the past. And coming to the zero waste is something to do with way back when I was a very little, and my grandmother, my grandfather, how they live their life. I just feel we are in the era of modernization, and we really neglect what is the value of the resorts. So in our organization, we did not call waste. We call it the neglected resorts, because we never feel that we should really reserve or economize the resource that we are using. We all know that the climate change and the global boiling, it's a trigger to all of us to make some move. And I work for the network. Actually, my another hat is also working for the Network for Sustainable Development Association. It's the nonprofit that we are trying to get the community to promote sustainable and livable city. So we are working on an area-based activity to get people to gather together in order to show their active citizen. But when we start to gather the people, the first activity that we had to convene all of these people is to start cleaning our city. So that's really inspired me that waste making the city clean really gather people to work together, and that's a starting point. And also, I always have a calling when I was very young, because my house is in the Victory Monument, but my school is not that far. When I was a little, I don't know whether you have any recall of the Bangkok about Bangkok like 30 years ago. Bangkok is dramatically changed in terms of the infrastructures. Or if you live in the city, you might recall that Asok area is the garden, is the vegetable farm. I was a little, when I was like 7 years old, my mom took me to walk along this vegetable farm on Asok area to the school. So I walk around the vegetable farm, like huge vegetable farm. So this is my calling for me. Then when I work on this one, I have to go. It's time that I go back to Bangkok, and I form a community called Love Victory Monument Group. It's a club, actually. It's a club of NGO and business organization that working together to request for a walkable city, allow Victory Monument. But again, we have to start with cleaning our city. With that, oh my goodness, when we clean up the city, we found there are a lot of food waste, a lot of plastic waste. So what we can do now is just like, why don't we start with the food waste, because it's easier, because we can work with the restaurant, with the food court and everything. So that's why we start to think about how we're gonna identify what is a solution. And now it's come that we try to, the first farm that we have is 5 years ago at the Central One department store around one of the corner of Victory Monument. There we have 200 kilograms of food waste a day. How are we gonna solve it? And then on the rooftop of the car park, nobody want to park there because there's no roof. Then they become empty. The space become empty. So the owner of the department store said, "Why don't we start doing something like?" And then at first we start with growing with flowers, but by years the owner has to spend money on growing the flowers, because nobody want to buy flowers for our farm. But we did not have the business model over that time. But we do compost, though. It's a very conventional compost way. But we found that we have a lot of good compost. The flower is very beautiful. After that, the owner said, "Oh, I cannot keep putting money in the farm." Then we think about, why don't we start growing some vegetable, starting from a small one. And now at the the first farm, last year we can grow 1,200 kilogram of vegetable on the small farm of 400 square meters. And until now, we have 30 farms around Bangkok, a small size between 20 to 50 square meters, but they have to do composting as well. So they are doing like conventional composting. And we start to enter into the hotel and hospitality industry. Now we have 5 hotels that starting doing the circular urban farming, we call. And the biggest farm that we have so far is 1,200 square meters on Centara Grand Hotel. And we have to help them achieve 50% of procurement in order to close the food mine roofing. So now it's very challenging. So far, we plan to have the return on investment by 2068. So for this farm, so this kind of business model really encourage all the hotel and restaurant start to think about growing their own food, their own vegetable in order to reduce the number of procurement of vegetable. I think Amari has done a very good thing on one farm on Front 8, and I would like to see as well. But I would like to challenge Amari that to start doing composting as well. Then you can close really the loop of food waste to green area. So this is my first round.
It seems like the project that you are working on is also working from the ground with the public demands, right? So they might just want to have their own environment or manage their food and not having a lot of waste. But at the same time, you also work with the top like private sector, like hotels, to help on working into this. And how can normal people like us can access into the products that you created?
Actually, this is like the whole ecosystem that starting from the producer, that's a hotel, instead of become the buyers, you can be a producer of your own vegetable. And also at the same time, you can really invite your own customer or even the public, like at school or universities or anyone who would like, you can create some kinds of cooking class to invite the customer to visit the farm. I used to conduct once at my farm, the first farm. I have the student from St. Andrew School, Dusit campus, grade 6. They come to the farm and then we teach them how to doข้าวผัดกะเพราไข่ดาว. Then we ask the student to go to the farm and pick what kind of vegetable they need. So we can teach the student about what is food, how we can make food. This is also another life skill process that the student can learn. And they not only do know how to do cooking, they know where the foods are from, when the food is from. And when they go to pick the vegetable in the farm, they will have to have their hand get dirty. So, and sometimes they get to have to know some worm, and it takes a lot of time for the kids to go to the farm and find.
Especially being the city kids, right?
So it's very, very astonishing for them because they never seen like vegetable in the city. They never see worm in the city, like millipedes and all kinds of. We have a lot of insect in the farm. The student can come and learn, and really a good class, and the school like come every semester.
That sounds really fun. Coming back to previously, you said that you call yourself part of the community in Victory Monument area, and you have told us before that your dream and your project is to make Soi Rang Nam zero waste tourist destination. And now we have heard about working with hotels, working with department stores on doing that. But I'm curious because when we talk about Soi Rang Nam is not only about the big hotels, not only about the big restaurants, but we have, like shop houses, restaurants, noodle shops, mo ping, like the pork skewers, like they're part of that business, right? They're part of the Soi Lang Nam. So in your vision, do you think that they need to be included in this vision? And if yes, what kind of support do you think they need? Because when we work with, hotels, when we work with business partners, they have the technology, they have the solutions, they have the funding. But if we want to achieve that, then how can common people, enhance their ability?
I forget to tell about this Lang Nam Zero Waste Journey project that we are doing right now. It has been a year already that we convene all the participants of all the small shops like our street hawkers and also the big hotel, small hotel. In Lang Nam, there are 5 hotels, 3 small, 1 big, and 1 medium hotel. And about 20 restaurants, standalone restaurant, and about 25 street hawkers or street vendors. So we invite all of them that why don't we separate food waste and also the plastic waste? And we would partner with Ratchathewi district to manage food waste. And we have 2 waste hub. One is at the Santipap Park venue. That's a waste, the compost area that we have. And another one is at not King Power, Pullman Hotel to allow us to use that space as a waste hub. So we have the waste bin is conventional against not the automatic one because nobody want to invest on this automatic because we are using the funding from the research centers of Thailand. So BPT. Then we are trying to get all these partners, a stakeholder in the community to work together. And by 23 of March, we are convening an activities to give the certification of less low carbon emission scheme. Low carbon support scheme that issued by certified by Greenhouse Gas Association of Thailand, Organization of Thailand. So on that day, we invite the governor to give the appreciation to all the restaurants and hotels who participate in our program so that they can really feel proud that they are part of the movement. And we hope that Lang Nam become a new wife for zero waste management, and hope all of you can visit them in order to create more economy and also to invite for the green people like to join them in Lang Nam. And I would love to get in touch with the Green Michelin star if we can really give them some Michelin star in the future.
I think all the topics and all the guests that we invite to speak today, after we finish this talk, everyone can work together for sure. So moving on to the food waste and also the sustainability living, you are as a producer working hands-on. And also I would like to move on to Mr. Sean too, since you have an experience in the sustainable and food businesses and you work with so many people with the creation or creativity that you see what will be benefit into the society in the food waste. Can you share us the experience of the Centennial solutions that you have?
Okay, sure. Okay. Can I have the click?
Okay. Well,
The
click remote นะคะขอโทษนะคะ Thank you. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Thanks for having me today because I think it kind of odd word for me because we have all the nice food, delicacy, but she and me, we are talking about waste. Okay, because good food will always left over some footprints that need to manage. And of course, it is very challenging because the implications of waste is actually very, very significant and very, very deep, especially from our perspective, because we are the waste solution provider. So what we do is that we help businesses solving waste problem. Of course, you can see from the picture here, you have a STP. So this is a centralized sewage system taken in Malaysia. This company will manage the sewage water treatment for the community. But unfortunately, in Thailand, it's not the case. Thailand is that everybody must treat their own wastewater. And that's where we find that there's a need to help solve this problem. Because I guess for many of us who are walking on the street, sometimes you get some funny smell, all right? And those are actually the leftover untreated wastewater or sewage water that's causing the problem, because all the water are being channeled to the drain and then to the river. And unfortunately, 90% of the wastewater discharge are not properly treated. Okay, so that's where we come into play, and we try to help and provide a solution so that you can actually clean up the wastewater. So for instance, this is one of our customers. So we treat the sewage water for them so that now the water is as clean as they can be. And when it goes to the river, it's not going to be harmful. Because I suppose recently, DOE and BMA are quite hardworking. I don't know whether there's any government officer here, because they're going around, checking on wastewater discharge, and which is very good, because then people start paying attention. So imagine that, you have a dark and dirty water that's go to the river, and the implication is a lot. And of course, along the way is that unknowingly, you're creating greenhouse gases. Because if the wastewater, the sewage water is not properly treated, you're going to release methane gas. Okay, so methane gas is one of the very, very serious problems that we need to handle. Okay, so this part of it. And secondly is that we provide a biological solution, okay, to help restaurant solving the grease problem. Because I'm sure after cooking, your grease trap is always a problem. Okay, smell, okay, clocking, then your stewarding have to, scoop it up, put in the garbage bin so that the cotton ball will collect. All right, but that's not the solving solution. All right, so we provide a very environmental friendly product so that the restaurant, upon closing it, you can actually use it, and you have no more waste that you need to manage. And of course, F&B, I'm sure you see the Peter there. That's one of the biggest enemy for a lot of restaurants. That's why we find that it will be important that we have to take a step back, because 99% of the cleaning detergents that is being used in the markets are all chemical based. So when you have a chemical based cleaning detergent, you're causing wastewater problem. Why? Because the chemical that you use, all right, it contains of phosphate, and you have nitrogen source, which is going to cause algae booming in your wastewater treatment. So that's all the consequences that's coming in. So we think that if we can have something that helps the F&B to reduce the chemical usage, and yet you can solve the waste problem, that'll be very nice. So that's why we come up with this. And okay, this is going to be a very controversial topic, talk about plastic waste. Okay, as you can see from the picture here, you're going to, I'm sure most of us who are here are quite environmental conscious. Okay, so for me, because of my habit, so I always have the eye to look out for packaging when they say, oh, is this compostable?
is this biodegradable? So sometimes you go to supermarket, or you go to a food court, then they'll put up a packaging. They say, oh, this is 100% compostable or biodegradable. But the question that we actually have to ask is that, are they really 100% compostable and biodegradable? What have they added into the plastic bag to make it biodegradable? So I was having a very interesting conversation with one of the sustainability directors for one of the hotel in Hua Hin. He's a Sri Lankan. So he said he went back to Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka government, like Indian government, okay, they have imposed a regulation in the plastic production, meaning that you must have your plastic not thinner than 20 microns, say for instance. Why? Because the purchaser's KPI is to buy cheap thing. All right. So when you say you buy cheap thing, is that you can actually manipulate with the plastic material by reducing the micron. So now I produce 15 micron. So my raw material cost has become cheaper. So naturally, you're going to buy a cheaper plastic bag. So the plastic bag get thinner and thinner. So eventually you're going to end up having 8 microns or even 7 micron plastic bag, garbage bin bag. Okay. But you ended up use more plastic bag than a single 20 micron plastic bag because it couldn't hold the weight. Right. So you're creating more waste into that issue. So the question is, you always have to ask yourself this question. There are 3 questions here. So is it compostable? Is it biodegradable? And do they create microplastic? Okay, because they will put a printed label, okay, biodegradable. But please ask this question, is the compounder, the raw material producer has certificates, okay, certifying that it is compostable material. All right. So just to share with you, one of the pets project that we are doing, okay, I'm working with some compounder in Thailand that we are using tapioca starch to make plastic bag, bioplastic bag. And this bioplastic bag is 100% compostable because it's made from starch. All right. So why do I get involved in this project? Because we have this composting machine. So the raw material supplier come to us, hey, can you work with us to try to compose the bioplastic bag, see how soon can they be completely decomposed. So we have done it, and we're very proud to announce to the market that you can actually now use 100% biodegradable, compostable plastic bag, and in the commercial composting setup, it can be composted within 7 days. Yes. All right.
7 days.
Yeah. So that's something that probably businesses should look into it. Of course, it's more expensive, naturally.
That will be our next question.
I know. We'll get to there. Okay, we'll get to there. All right. So the next one is that I mentioned that composting project. So she keep emphasizing that is manual composting. So manual composting is good because in the absence of capital, in the absence of investment, okay, manual composting actually helps solving problem. Okay, why? Because 60% of the landfill content is wet garbage, is food waste. All right, and of this, 20% of the methane gas is produced from landfill condition. All right, so imagine if you can solve your food waste on site. All right, you're not only not creating the carbon footprint, but you also help reducing the methane production. And we don't want to stop there. All right, as you can see from the slide here, we are also promoting a circular economy because we believe that if you can turn your food waste into a compost fertilizer in 24 hours, and you can use that for farming. Meaning is that now a hotel like Amri, you may have a rooftop that you can actually food waste, go to the machine, next day you collect it, put into your farm, and you produce your vegetable, and you supply this you serve your vegetable to your guests. So that's something that we think that is doable now.
Nina.
And we have heard about the innovative technology and solutions, and the question that I'm itching to ask, and I think many of us too, is like, is the zero waste society expensive, or is it only affordable to a group of people in a society
or private sector?
Yeah.
How about the locals can access to be
So what's your take
sustainability?
on that?
Okay. Can I have a show of hand who is using iPhone at the moment? Wow, see, okay. If you could afford an iPhone, you can definitely afford a home composting unit, all right?
Do you have the second-hand one?
Yeah, she said two, all right. Okay, that's on household unit. But for commercially, like I think if we could afford to drive a Toyota Vios or even a Honda City, I think you can definitely look into investing in a composting machine, because I believe the composting machine is going to generate better ROI than the Honda City.
You can.
Actually, I don't want to mean that I don't discourage the auto composter, but I try to get the farming on setup because and I want to challenge the landowner that they don't need to spend the first year that much. But I encourage that all the household, if you can buy one iPhone, in particular iPhone 15, right? 15 or 14, I think you can buy his machine, two machines, because I would like to have it in my house too. I just only have green cone in my house.
And adding to that, we have heard that for composting, there are both like traditional techniques that we can learn, and also we can benefit from the innovative solutions. So I think there are many options for various groups of people. And just asking further, when we talk about expensive, usually it's about the process that we evaluate the costs and expenses and the benefits that we get, right? So I think the answer will depend on different people in terms of like how much money means to them. But coming back to you, so of course, we have heard and we have discussed before that achieving zero waste society is not something that can be instant right away. It would take time with the help of various kinds of stakeholders, right? So how do you envision that for people who could afford, for example, the auto composter, what kind of benefits in terms, we're comparing cost and benefits, just like maybe just like a few sentences on this part. So what are the benefits that you would like to share about this?
Okay, to us is that we approach the composting project slightly different from other people in the market, because we don't want to do a composting for the sake of just composting, but we want it to be able to create another value chain subsequent to the composting process that is completed. Because for businesses to invest in a machine, let's say a couple $100,000 baht, all right, you always look at it at what am I going to get out of it? What is my ROI? All right, what can I benefit? Instead of I have to sacrifice my Toyota Vios for a composting machine. All right. So that's the question that we have to ask. But to me is that if you have a composting machine that can produce a usable fertilizer, you can actually carry on that process. You're not going to stop there, but you can use that to grow, produce organic produce. And now you can help the farmers to raise their income level, or even for your own restaurant, that you are serving a quality organic produce through the composting process.
Looking at like also bioplastic and all the
Yes.
circular whole system of it.
Correct. Yep.
Thank you.
I think that his point is taken. It's very important. For us so far, for our human being in this entire planet, there are cause of inaction and action. I think we have to start talking about the return on investment, because the business has to invest on something in order to take action. But when we are talking about social benefit and environmental benefit, that's another story that I would like to add on. That's why whenever when we pitch for any customer, we are doing the return on investment. But at the end of the first year, we will try to do some social return on investment for them. Then they can add it on the ESG report. And that's not because they want to have it on the report, but they can really prove that they are doing something to benefit the environment in order to mitigate the environmental impact, the negative environmental impact. I think now we are not talking only the economic size. We have to think about the sustainable, the environmental size as well. That's how I would like to emphasize and
Right.
add on what.
And I also, seeing that we talk into like, individual sector like us, as we want to be part of, living sustainability. And also we talk about private sector that have resources or tools, to make everything better. Do you think that we should have the like government policy to impact all these things? Maybe who would like to, maybe you?
Actually, I think whoever would like to do on this and enter into this kind of environmental project, we encourage everyone to really get the government, the local administrator, to be part of your project. For example, like Amari project on the rooftop, we should engage. I think you are in Ratchathewi district. We should engage Ratchathewi district to involve in terms of take some part of the waste management, because you are not the one that you have to take care of everything. That one side, because we don't need to build any investment on this activity, but we encourage the district to know that we are doing this, but how are you going to support us in terms of using your own resource, existing resource? And another thing is like working with the community or the neighboring communities, talking to Platinum, talking to the building next to you, and encourage them to do the same thing. And we have so many benefit lying ahead in terms of in the future, that if I was able to succeed, I can be successful in convincing BMA to start declaring Bangkok going toward low carbon city. We have a lot of carbon trading that we can work hand in hand at the Bangkok metropolitan level, not only by yourself, by only the company alone.
Yeah, like because for cooking one pot of food, we need all the ingredients, and we need the chef who just put that thing into the pot. Am I right on that?
And also that's create another situation that you can reduce the food mine. For example, you don't need to buy kaprao, holapa, all kinds of sweet basil, all kinds of basil type. Even Italian basil, you can grow it on the rooftop, and you can minimize the procurement of your own food. And that will encourage the people who are working on the rural area to start thinking about growing valuable vegetable and also the fruits and other things. Then we can really create we can work hand in hand with the tourists in Dastar to talk about the detail of gastronomy, how we start planning a better ingredient. for
Perfect เลยค่ะ
the
because the
company.
next question we will move into Dasta.
So here we're hearing a lot about being like active citizens, but at the same time, we need to look at a holistic approach from the policy intervention and support, maybe in terms of practical solutions and also incentives, right? Through tax or through training and all the resource provision. So now there's a saying I would like to pass this question to Kun Wachariนะคะ. So yeah, we have heard our chefs. We have heard about our from our sommelier. We have heard from our waste, specialists and etc. But now we would like to hear about the part of a government organization such as yourself, because there's a saying that for tourism to be successful, we need to follow the global trends in order to, please the needs of tourists. Now, for how do you think a community and also a tourism organization such as Dasta yourself will respond to this statement? And, in order to also recognize, the other part of the picture, which is about the community's needs. So, yeah, what's your take on that?
Distinguished guests and 3 participants from 3 countries, or 3 countries, not 3 participants. And also the executive from Onyx. Thank you very much for participating in this event. And in terms of Dasta, tourism development public sector, and our goal is sustainable tourism. And so it means that when we develop the tourism products, we need to understand the global tourism trends. So it's very important because we learned that we face a lot of problem on environmental impact, right? So the change of tourism trend changed a lot. So now at present, we may hear about the carbon neutral tourism. This is, we have done it in order to, it concern about the waste as well, because this can cause the carbon to the world. So when we talk about the trends, especially sustainable tourism is a trend, definitely. So, but under the sustainable tourism, there are many types of tourism that can lead to the sustainable tourism. So the trend in 2024 from the United Nations World Tourism Organization, it said that, okay, local gastronomy. So good news for us, local gastronomy is a strong trend, and nature always, and wellness, and rural tourism experience. So it means about the community, and experiential and eco-friendly is a continuous trend for, I think, more than 10 years. We talk about this. And what about local needs? When we talk about the attraction, so we have to mention about the community, because they are the owner of the nature, the culture. This is the attraction that attract visitor to visit to the destination. So if we talk about local needs, if we want to develop tourism, it means that the community must be happy. So we would like to see the happy communities in 3 dimensions: society, environment, and economy. And also the pride of its uniqueness and identity of the cultural values, natural values. This is the community own all attractions. So that's why it's important. We have to think about the communities. And the last thing is inheritance. So we need to talk about our next generation. We would like them to maintain, to conserve, to have their own pride of their identity, of culture. This is this can respond to the trends. so we can match the trend and what we have in community. So that start low, we are like a middle people in order to work with both sides, the demand and supply. So we have the principle of working. We have co-creation. It means participation of all stakeholders, public, private sector, educational institutes, and local communities as well. Co-creation and co-thinking, co-planning, co-implementing, and co-responsibility, co-benefits, and co-own. So that's why we work together in order to empower all stakeholders to develop such tourism in sustainable way. So we need to build capacity of our stakeholders to understand first, and then have the plan together. This is the way we work. And so for community, they own the intangible culture, especially gastronomy of food, local food, uniqueness, the unique of local food, the identity of each area. They have their own identity, as you said, right? And it's the charms of the communities. So we use community-based tourism and creative tourism in order to ensure sustainable management by local people themselves and add value to their culture, their food, their way of life. This is the tools that we use.
It seems like you already explained about complex of community and differentiation of different people. But I do have the question that how can it's a challenging to balance between identity and the pride of community, and also how to please the tourists. Can you elaborate this challenge? I know it's a challenging, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Of
How can you make it into the way that it works together, everybody's winning?
Yes. So when we work with the community, we have to know what the identity value and what to respond to the tourist needs. But quality tourists, because quality tourists, they want this special thing. They want uniqueness. So when we go to the community, we look at their values, culture and nature, and we see the capacity, what they can manage in order to use their resources to be as activities, tourism activities, food, local food, or creative activities for visitors. So we need to train them to make them understand how to create and how to add value to what they have. So for example, this community is about 30 minutes from Bangkok. We call Khung Bang Kachao. It's this village is surrounded by the Chao Phraya River, 15 kilometers around the community. And we found that inside the community, they have 46 canals inside, and they use paddle boats. But at present, they don't use it because they have roads, cars, with motorcycles. So we rehabilitate, we take back the paddle boat, and we take back the local food. You can see the lotus, and we call miang grit bua. We use the lotus metal and the local ingredients, local and organic, organics, and also the waste from the forest, community forest. You can see the souvenir. It's the seeds of the tree, and also the activity, creative activity like the natural dye from nipa palm color. Nipa palm is the forest in this community. And also people, they have a massage. This can add value to make them have a high value in terms of a tourism experience for visitors. And also CSR activities as well. Yes.
So you mean like, this is like CBT?
Yeah, community-based tourism. But how to know that this will satisfy the visitor or not? We need to work with Travel and Tourism Association in order to do product testing. And if they say that it's nice, we can sell to the visitors. So we pass. We can. And this, for example, this community, the TUI Thailand, TUI, this is a German company, and they have the quality tour market from Germany and all the over. They have a contract to send a visitor to that community.
That's very inspiring because when we talk about sustainability, we need to also honor the community needs, right? Rather than just a tourist, but for business, of course, we need to balance between the two. And I think we have drawn inspiration from your experiences on how to do that. And I'm really grateful to hear the word, co-creating, but the words that I'm more grateful for is about co-benefit sharing and co-ownership, because we have seen examples, bad examples, that when the community is just the resource, then usually it can, go down through the pipe, like with lots of risks. But to benefit, to share the benefits, and benefits can be also emotional value, pride, right? Not only about money. So I'm very happy to hear that. Thank you so much, Kakun Wachari. So I think we come to the last round of question for all of us. So the last question before we end this panel session is, well, now we want to talk about future, way forward. So what do you see as the main challenges or opportunities in promoting sustainable gastronomy in the coming years? So whoever wants to start first. What are the challenges and opportunities?
Yeah, I'll take it. I mean, I don't see it as a challenge. I think people are getting more informed, and it's only here to grow. And with the lifestyles which we've lived in the past, and we can clearly see a big shift of change. So I think in 2040, it's going to be a different world, and a lot of other choices which are going to be made. And as humans, we've always evolved and adapted and I hope it is for the better. And we just have to take good decisions every day. Like how in Japanese culture, they say kaizen, which is just doing small things for a larger good. That's it. I think we'll make it happen in 2040 or 2050. I don't think it's a challenge. I think what is more to be needed is for people to be more involved and more aware about what is the end result, and not just have the surface level knowledge, but to really dig deep and to see as if it's really compostable or is it really biodegradable. If you just see a logo, just don't believe it. Ask yourself a deeper question and really go for it, and then you'll probably on the way find an alternative. So yeah.
We need like, information and people to provide us on how to really like find out whether it's, because as consumers, I go in and I see the logo, I'm like, oh, fine, that's great, right? And and thank you for sharing your optimism towards that progress.
For me, I have thinking for the future, we could cooperate with private sector and with the government as well to produce more product because for me I work in food and food industry. So for the future, I think we could make more quantity of the product to use more green vegetable, like a farm to table, to work more on that and to help each other to use like the product like eco green to have the city.
Okay. And
For me, I think the future is now. Okay, it's now. Because I believe that all of us who are sitting in the room now, you have the foresight. And I think you care about sustainability. That's why you are here, apart from the nice and delicious food outside. Whatever action that we're doing now, we are not doing for us anymore. Okay, we are doing it now for your future generations. All right. I believe the advancement of technology has provided a lot of options that we can actually utilize in order for us to move this forward. I guess the challenge now is that we need a true leadership, okay, to lead the way that you have to tell the community, you have to tell the government, you have to tell the whole world that, you know, sustainability is possible, it's not expensive, and we can actually do it because I suppose the carbon taxation is coming in, so everybody is looking at that. But please, especially Amelie, you should be the leaders, not only for Thailand, but also for the region. And you can show to other international hotel chain that, look, we can actually do this. And I'm sure Amelie already in the process of doing this.
Right. I don't know what to say. I agree with which was the I found only opportunities. For example, for my project, I start to support Bangkok rooftop farming social enterprise to enter into this venture because we found that there are 1,280 buildings in Bangkok, and there are 100,000 something, right? If we use up all rooftop, but we don't want to challenge ourselves that much. We said that in 5 years, if Bangkok rooftop farming can achieve only 10%, that means 128 buildings. That means 40 lines. 40 lines of space that we can grow vegetable. That means a lot because last year Bangkok rooftop farming, the first project, they can sell about 1,200 something kilogram of vegetable. We can go within the 400 square meters. So how are we gonna get everyone who own that building to see the benefit? I would like to support the idea of we are creating reciprocal benefit only to our mother natures and also our future generation. We need to have a reciprocal benefit, not only to support, to help our future generation. I don't want to offend you, but we doing that, we help our nature, mother natures. And when we help our mother natures, we can we can cool down this world. And our future generation can live in the cool mother natures, and we can live together peacefully.
That's true. Yeah. How about Pคะ?
For our challenging in the future, we think that in terms of sustainability, we think about the next generation. So we learned that young generation or young people, they come to work in the city, in the main economic city, and how to bring them back home in order to develop their city because they are creative, they are digitalized, and also knowledgeable people. So if we can we can provide opportunities for them to get jobs and work in their place. So it will help in order to develop the city as well. So we have some example that we try to urge to encourage the young people to go back home by developing the small and medium enterprise for gastronomy, local gastronomy. So we have a competition for young people in order to, but before the competition, we have an application and select a 10 team in order to learn the innovation, how to add value to the local gastronomy, to their ingredient, their and after learning and they show their innovation. So we have 3 teams to win the winner, and we present their work to the international conference in order to make them that, and also take the first award. The first award, we take them to visit the UCCN gastronomy city overseas in order to create inspiration for young people to know that they have their own value at their home, amazing to do. And so I think this we did it in Phetchaburi province. The 2021 UCCN and the category of gastronomy. So, and 3 winners, the TAT will promote these 3 members, because one of them, they have restaurant, and another one, they have the community-based tourism, and another one, the owner of the enterprise. So I think we may need to help to provide opportunities and methods in order to contribute to the next generation to go back home. Thank you.
Thank you, Ka. So we all not working alone, because we all have to work together to make this thing happen, and not only us, but to the bigger picture, to the world.
So thank you so much to all of our 5 panelists again for this very rich discussion. I'm sure that our audience right now have lots of food for thought to think about. And this is a starting point for us to, work on this common goal. So thank you so much. Everybody, please give them a round.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Huh.
So, dear ladies and gentlemen, we still have one more presentation for you in this seminar. And now please welcome the presentation from Onyx Hospitality Group. So thank you so much. The floor is yours, Kun Sukama.
Born from a man's treasured childhood memories of sailing with his family on a yacht is growing at the beach. These voyages weren't just trips, they were adventures where the sea was their playground and every catch was a story. Imagine the sea under twilight, the laughter of loved ones, and the thrill of catching squid and fish that would soon become a delicious pot of seafood boiled rice. These voyages nurtured the man's profound connection with Thailand's waters, ultimately inspiring the creation of Chomseng.
Sawadee krab. Listening to all these inspiring speakers, it makes me more stressed to explain why we are here today. But for me, food is not just about a food, what you see it in the plate. It's about creating stories, creating memories, and creating bonds between people. And that's where I'm here today to share our first gastronomical experience, which is about Chomsin. I'm Sukamal. I'm the Area General Manager of Amari Bangkok under Onyx Hospitality Group. Before I say anything, I must say that I'm extremely honored today here to be at this stage, sharing with UNESCO. Thank you so much for UNESCO and DASTA to recognizing us to whatever we do for sustainability efforts. Without your recognitions today, I wouldn't be here. But before I speak anything about mission and vision, I also would like to welcome two gentlemen, which is my co-team, Chef Praveen, who is the culinary excellence behind Chomsin, and Kun Pavich to be shared on the stage. Chomsin will never be here if the vision of Onyx Hospitality is not there. So we are extremely honored to be a part of Onyx Hospitality Group who believes in sustainability as one of their key objectives. And today, that's why we are sharing 4 key pillars. Before I give all the key pillars to these two gentlemen, I will take the honor to speak a little bit about sustainability because it's something which is passion and it's from my heart. I always have been saying sustainability is not a fancy word. It's something we should live by. And that's how our proposition is about sustainably conscious. We hope we all live sustainability conscious life so that we can do it in a conscious mind state. Sustainability is something which we wanted to bring to Chomsin, and there are a few areas, and there are a lot of speakers been inspiring us. There are a few areas I have been honored to work with Kun Arut, and Kun Arut is actually here in this room, the owner of Toka. May I have a round of applause for Kun Arut? Key sourcing for any restaurant is the biggest challenge because if we would like to go and support the local farmers and local fishermen, it is impossible for our hotels to go to individual farmers or fishermen. And that's where an organization like Toka is there to support us. And I'm very sure the way TCEP is working, all these organizations will support not only our hotels, but also middle and small restaurants there so that it will be easy for sourcing. So thank you so much for Toka, Pla Organic, for all the sourcing food for proposing and giving to us at Chomsin. There is also something which is very passionate about Chomsin, that this will be our first gastronomical experience which will support zero waste landfill. And the lady also here in the room, Kun Pat, who is the inspiration behind that will be supporting zero waste landfill. Obviously, that goes to we've been trying with Sentinel or the composite machine also. Last but not the least, which I want to do emphasis that how important food wastage is. There are 13 million kilograms of wastage every day in Bangkok. That is equal to 1,200 big elephants. And 2/3 of this coming from food. So hopefully this one initiative of zero waste landfill, supporting local farmers will help. Last but not the least, people mentioned that Amari is doing an urban farm. So we have started the small initiatives at 8th floor and we have started growing. This man will speak more about this. Last but not the least, I would like all of you to say that we all count our calories. We should start counting our carbon footprint too. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kusuman.
The stage is yours. Thank you. Thank you.
สวัสดีครับผมประวีณนะครับเป็นเชฟประจำห้องอาหารชมศิลป์นะครับวันนี้ก็จะมาแนะนำทุกท่านเกี่ยวกับข้อมูลของห้องอาหารชมศิลป์4หัวข้อนะครับผมซึ่งหัวข้อแรก authenticity ความเป็นไทยของห้องอาหารชมศิลป์นะครับก็คือเราตั้งใจจะใช้วัตถุดิบทั้งหมดของไทยทั้งหมด 100% ครับซึ่งเราจะคัดเลือกวัตถุดิบต่างๆจากแหล่งวัตถุดิบทั่วประเทศนำมาใช้ในห้องอาหารของเรา
ครับผม chefs inform that 100% local Thai ingredients that will deserve authenticity, including locally searchings. This means make sure that all ingredients are fresh and local.
ครับ ต่อมานะครับนอกจากวัตถุดิบของเราที่ไปค้นหาทั่วประเทศแล้วนะครับ เรายังใช้เทคนิคของดั้งเดิมแบบเรียบง่ายนะครับ เช่นการเผามะเขือยาว ในยำมะเขือเผาที่เราเสิร์ฟให้ทุกท่านได้ทานในช่วงเที่ยงของวันนี้นะครับ ซึ่งการเผามะเขือเป็นเทคนิคโบราณทำให้ตัวมะเขือมีกลิ่นสโมกมีความหอมมีความนิ่ม เมื่อทานคู่กับปลาสลิดที่เราไปทอดจนกรอบคลุกเคล้ากับน้ำยำสูตรของเรา จะทำให้เกิดรสชาติละมุนละไมและเกิดรสสัมผัสที่ทำให้สนุกสนานในปากของเรานะครับ
Not only like a local searchings ingredients, chef will be like cooking by simply but authenticity techniques like the chef telling that the way chef cook plant eggplant and smoke the flavors remain fresh net juice and genius flavors of Thai served to the guests. Then he invite all of you to come back at the Chom Sin to taste and make fun in your mouth.
For the next
Freshness
ถ้าพูดถึงความสดใหม่ของห้องอาหารชมศิลป์นะครับ คือเราโชคดีที่เรามีพื้นที่สำหรับการปลูกพืชผักสวนครัวไว้ใช้เองในโรงแรมนะครับ ตั้งอยู่ที่ชั้น 8 ทุกวันเราสามารถขึ้นไปเก็บมาใช้ได้ ซึ่งเราสามารถคอนโทรลตัววัตถุดิบของเราที่ทำให้เราสามารถเสิร์ฟลูกค้าได้อย่างมั่นใจว่าเราดูแลวัตถุดิบของเราเป็นอย่างดีนะครับผม
Regarding freshness, chef informed that in Bangkok we have the farm at 8-4. It means herbal farm to fox projects. Chefs is easy access to going up to take like a basil leaf and taking down to the kitchens and cooking and serve to your plate.
ซึ่งนอกจากตัวผักสวนครัวที่เราปลูกไว้ใช้เองนะครับผมเรื่องเมนูประจำฤดูกาลหรือวัตถุดิบประจำฤดูกาลเราก็ให้ความใส่ใจไม่แพ้กัน เช่นในฤดูกาลต่อไปจะเป็นฤดูกาลของมะยงชิดนะครับซึ่งตัวชมศิลป์มีเมนูขนมหวานที่ชื่อส้มฉุนอยู่แล้ว ซึ่งเป็นเมนูขนมไทยโบราณสมัยรัชกาลที่ 2เป็นเมนูสไตล์ร้อยแก้วนะครับผมตัวมะยงชิดตัวเนี้ยเมื่อถึงฤดูกาลของเขาเราจะเอาเขามาใส่ในเมนูส้มฉุนแทนผลไม้ที่หมดจากฤดูกาลที่แล้วครับ
Not only vegetable in-house farm, chefs still have planning to change and adapt based on seasonal ingredients like the menu at Chom Sin called Som Chun is mixed like a Thai fruit and chef will be use the seasonal fruit to cooking and serving.
นอกจากผักสวนครัวหรือว่าผลไม้หรือผักตามฤดูกาลต่างๆ ตัวชมศิลป์เองก็ให้ความใส่ใจกับการจับเนื้อสัตว์ในช่วงฤดูกาลของเขาและความสด ซึ่งส่วนตัวผมเองได้มีการไปพบเจอกับกลุ่มชาวประมงที่จังหวัดประจวบคีรีขันธ์หรือว่าเราจะรู้จักกันในชื่อของคนทะเลนะครับ ซึ่งเป็นกลุ่มที่ทำงานเกี่ยวกับการประมงโดยยึดจุดยืนความยั่งยืนของท้องทะเลของเขานะครับ ซึ่งจะไม่ปล่อยของเสียออกจากลงทะเลแล้วก็จะไม่จับสัตว์น้ำลงในฤดูกาลของเขา แล้วก็ทำให้เห็นได้ว่าเขามีการออกเรือไปเก็บวัตถุดิบสดใหม่ได้ทุกวันเพื่อนำมาส่งให้เราครับ
As fetch cat, chefs going another province to looking for local suppliers, ingredient from who like priorities, environments, and bring all the meat to cooking like Khon Thale in which province?
Last one.
Okay, and then he bring to serving at Chom Sin restaurant. Next is traditional.
ก็เรื่องความ traditional ของเมนูในชมศิลป์หรือการประกอบอาหารของชมศิลป์นะครับ ผมอยากจะนำเสนอเมนูหนึ่งก็คือเมนูนี้เป็นเมนูที่ตกทอดมาต่อรุ่นนะครับชื่อว่านาลีกันแสง เมนูนี้ถูกบันทึกเอาไว้ว่าเป็นต้นกำเนิดของผัดกะเพรานะครับ ซึ่งทำไมถึงชื่อนาลีกันแสง นาลีกันแสงจะมีความเผ็ดร้อนจากรากผักชีกระเทียมพริกไทยซึ่งเราเรียกว่า3 เกลอนะครับ นำสามเกลอไปโขลกกับพริกแห้ง จากนั้นเราก็จะไปปรุงรสชาติด้วยน้ำปลาลูกผักชีแล้วก็เม็ดยี่หร่าซึ่งเราจะผัดตัวนี้กับกุ้งนะครับ เราจะเสิร์ฟคู่กับตัวแตงกวาเพื่อดับความร้อนของเมนูนี้นะครับ
The third pillar for Chomsin is traditions. Recipe as chef inform is like a recipe from general to general. Traditional cooking techniques are under Thai rich history. Preserving heritage ensure culinary wisdom deliver share among to the customers. Like history behind of the กรณีกันแสง is transformed to ผัดกะเพรา as of now ใช่ไหมครับ And sustainability is the last but not least in the pillars.
สุดท้ายนะครับก็เป็นเกี่ยวกับความยั่งยืนที่ชมสินของเราให้ความใส่ใจนะครับ ก็คือนอกจากผักสวนครัวที่เราปลูกเองในชั้น8แล้วนะครับ เราก็ยังมีพาร์ทเนอร์ชิพเช่นโทก้านะครับ ก็คือสมาคมผู้บริโภคเกษตรอินทรีย์แห่งประเทศไทย ก็คือตัวเนี้ยก็จะมีผักอินทรีย์หรือเครื่องทำปุ๋ยที่เราให้ความสนใจในการทำ zero landfill นะครับ แล้วก็ต่อมาการ responsibility ต่อสังคมนะครับ อย่างคนทะเลที่ได้พูดไปก็คือการไม่เอาของเสียลงในทะเลของตัวเอง และการไม่จับสัตว์น้ำในช่วงเวลาวางไข่ แล้วต่อมาอีกเจ้าหนึ่งที่เราใช้สำหรับขนมหวานของเรานะครับ ก็คือน้ำตาลดีจากเพชรบุรีในแบรนด์ของน้ำตาลตาลินะครับ ซึ่งทำไมน้ำตาลต้องมาจากเพชรบุรีในบันทึกของแม่ครัวหัวป่าของท่านผู้หญิงเปลี่ยนพาสกรวงศ์นะครับ น้ำตาลมะพร้าวที่ดีต้องมาจากเพชรบุรี ทางชมศิลป์ก็เลยไปคัดสรรน้ำตาลที่ดีจากเพชรบุรี และเป็นน้ำตาลออร์แกนิกด้วยจากน้ำตาลตาลินะครับ
Okay, it's like long story. Sustainability is the last pillar of the Chomsin and from partnership with organizations like TOGAs that they bring and prioritize of environment, cares, and then the responsibility searching ingredient from the whole take care like คนทะเล is for seasonal seafood and tali sugar is palm sugar in Petpuri that help bring the original sugars from there and cooking the dessert menu at Chomsin. Yes, not only like partners or suppliers, we still have our uniform recyclables, plastic and transform to trendy sustainable ST as well. Okay, let's hold on to the belief that change begin with us. At Chomsin, no matter how small, contribute to larger journeys towards sustainability and conscious living. We alone, we not change the world, but together, our collective efforts create ripple or positive impact. Last but not least, please allow me to share Chomsin labels. Best of both worlds, best of both tides, best of both generations. Thank you very much. ขอบคุณครับ
Thank you very much ค่ะ Thank you very much ค่ะ Chef Thank you Mr. Sukhamal Don't run away to the restaurant yet without us because we are all get hungry by all the presentation, the concept and the concern of Chomsin restaurant. I cannot believe that we are going through almost the end of our journey of gastronomy and sustainability, right? So I hope that all the information and all the discussion that we have today is providing food for thoughts and also food for our now being and also to our future, right? And I would like to also thank you to our panelists and our speakers and all of my guests that come here and join us today, and also the introduction to the restaurant finale.
And as a final final special treat, if you scan this QR code on the screen and then just give us some feedback on this seminar, you will receive a digital certificate from UNESCO directly to your email. So please scan this beautiful QR code.
Right. And also, we cannot, and we would like to again thank you to Onyx Hospitality Group for hosting this event on site at Amari Bangkok Hotel. Also UNESCO's deep appreciation to DASTA, ASEAN Turkey Corporation, K11 Department Store, CREHAB, City Connects, and B Consulting Cambodia for supporting the whole project.
Right. And while you're sharing your feedback, I would like to make an announcement to advertise the next activity under the project by UNESCO, which will take place on the 20th of March this year. And it's going to be online. It's going to be a webinar titled Harnessing Digital Tools for Greater Community Involvement in the Tourism Narrative.
So how can you participate this or receive all the news from us? I would say the easiest way might be get into UNESCO Facebook, and then we will put the information out there. And then UNESCO will be soon announcing, the next impressive lineup of speakers and panelists as well. And also, I wouldn't complete this without telling you that SDG teddy bears outside is for sale. You can go to visit the Amari booth. Please have a visit and also support.
Right. And also keeping updated, you can also follow the link tree called UNESCO ASEAN CBT. So there will be links of information there. So as for now, when you're done with the feedback sharing, goodbye and wishing you a wonderful evening in Bangkok. สวัสดีค่ะ
Thank you very much, Ka. Thank you for joining. Please visit all the booths outside that we have so many things to share. Thank you for coming today. And also, I would like to announce to our NAN workshop, please gathering together at the lobby of the Bangkok Design Week walk tours. So whenever you get ready, thank you.
Thank you.
สวัสดีค่ะ
สวัสดีค่ะ
Can I ask for the non